been my life for 4 years, Mercer Island basketball, and I mean, this is the last chance. This is the last chance we have. This is the last dance in many ways.
I mean, we never came out and really said it to each other, but it's gone through our heads. And I mean, we've been together so long that, you know, once we see one person start, you know, picking up a little bit, then everybody else starts doing it, and then from there on, from us seniors, one senior picking up all the way down to the 12th, 13th man.
Last game, grand finale. I mean, I think what it'll be is it'll be just basically a ceremony of us. Finally, our last game, we're all just going to enjoy it and go out there and do the things we've done since we were 11 to win the state championship, most likely. I'm not going to guarantee it yet, but I think pretty positive things with these guys behind me.
I told Tyler a couple months ago that we didn't want to talk about that when we got to this point, because that kind of preoccupies your mind with other things besides executing the game plan and doing what needs to be done. I'm sure after the game was over and we've given our best effort, that it'll be extremely weird to realize that I'm not going to play with those guys in a game anymore.
And with all 4 seniors going to Division I schools next year, success will not be decided on just this game.
I think people tend to be very binary when it comes to sports. It's you win, you lose, and they measure success associated with the final score. But to me, playing basketball for Mercer Island, and with those guys especially, it's been so much more. It's been building relationships. It's the camaraderie. It's the locker room. It's after the game messing around. You know, it's messing around during the summers. It's lifting weights. It's so much more than what ends up in the final score, what's up in the books. I mean, obviously, we're so driven to get that state championship. Is more than just the state championship game. It's our last run together, and we're going off to bigger and better things, maybe, but maybe the best time of our lives, the best basketball time anyway, is going to be right there in those last 4, 5, 6, 7 years.
This may be the last dance for the Islanders, but their journey is far from over. 4 talented individuals who will go a long way. With more, with the Islanders, here's Tom Blasco and Mike Gioli. Gentlemen.
John, thank you very much, and it is a pleasure to be alongside former Indiana Hoosier and North Carolina State standout. I don't know what the heck he's doing, but he's living in Seattle. Mike Gioli. Mike, good to have you along board.
Great to be here. What a wonderful night to be here.
I tell you, tough act to follow. An outstanding first game in our girls 3A championship. Bainbridge with the upset of Meadowdale, and now we get set for 2 of the elite programs in the history of this state, Mercer Island going against the Fighting Irish of O'Day. It's been fun watching these teams this week get to this point. They are worthy championship contenders.
Keith, I'll tell you, the first key to the game is their versatility on offense. They can go have 4 guys, and each one of them can do anything they want to do with the basketball. I'll tell you, another thing that's key is good on defense and good pressure. And they know right where to be in the right place at the right time.
Mercer Island guys do a tremendous job. A well-oiled team, and that is exactly what you should expect from a club coached by the winningest coach in the history of the state of Washington, Ed Peppa. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll focus on the Fighting Irish of O'Day.
The matchup that many believe would be the big rivalry matchup has come to pass. It's the 3A Boys Championship, Mercer Island against O'Day. O'Day is not a stranger when it comes to winning state championships. They won 2 years ago. They think they can do it again. How did they get to the finals? Let's take a look at their road to the finals. Beating Olympia, a state finalist last year, 42-39. Taking care of Everett 56-48, and last night a very tough game against Mariner. This team has made quite a transformation from that state championship 2 years ago and the team last year. Here's a look at O'Day. They know what it feels like to win it all.
O'Day with a perfect season and a state championship.
But they will tell you that this team is different. O'Day used to be a one-star show. Now they play as one.
Coach Lumpkin, he believes in team ball. You know, he's from the old school, so he's not going to let us, you know, try to do it on our own. You know, last year we let one guy probably do too much, and then make him, you know, get involved in the team system as much, and I think it definitely cost us. Definitely did. We had the talent last year. We're probably more talented last year than any team ever in O'Day history. But we didn't play as a team, and it cost us. And we all know it, and we didn't want to feel that way again.
And we kind of depended on, the Doug Williams and the Kevin Burlesons. And after they left, we kind of depended on each other more than just one person. And that's what it's been like this whole season. I mean, at any game, somebody can hit 25, and the next night he'll hit 4, but he'll also have 15 rebounds, or 10 assists. That's just how we are. We don't care who's getting the highest points. We just want to play together and have a balanced squad.
That balance means only 2 of the Irish average in double figures. One of them is Gene Woodard, who remembers the success of '97, the disappointment of '98, and the hard work of this season.
We had some real good players last year, but as they left, we knew we had to work harder. We had to work as a team, or we wasn't gonna be able to get it done. Yeah, we knew, we gonna have to, work hard on offense, defense, boxing out, everything. We can't just rely on one person to score 20 points and for us to watch.
And with the newfound teamwork, the Fighting Irish will be fighting Mercer Island for another chance at a championship. And the disciplined attack of Phil Lumpkin's squad matches up well with the style of the Islanders. And for the seniors, there's no bigger game than this one.
My sophomore year, I thought that was going to be my biggest game, but, this is by far probably the biggest game of my life.
Is it because it's the last chance?
Yeah, I'm a senior. We got like 7, 8 seniors on the team. We all want this more than anything, so we're just going to try and go out with a bang.
And that means going out holding this trophy one more time. Will we see a repeat of that scene tonight? For the keys to winning, let's go back to Tom and Mike. Gentlemen.
John, thank you very much. All right, Mr. Giomi, break down the O'Day Fighting Irish. What do they need to do to take that trophy home to Capitol Hill tonight?
I'll tell you, these Fighting Irish, they're 8 deep, and their defense, they told me the other day, they love pressure. They're excited to be in this situation. One of their other keys on offense is their patience. And you know what? The closer the game, the better for them.
All right. Depth, patience, and the closer the game, the better for the Fighting Irish of O'Day. Wow. Gotta love it. O'Day and Mercer Island for the boys 3A championship. And we will have more on this showdown at the Kingdome when our coverage continues on Fox Sports Northwest. Tonight, the Islanders of Mercer Island shoot for a 3rd state championship this decade. But their opposition wants a 3rd title too. Mercer Island against O'Day next. And welcome back to the Kingdome as our high school championship coverage continues with what could be a classic high school matchup, and what a way to close down the Kingdome when it comes to high school championship games. Mercer Island taking on O'Day. Let's show you the road to this championship contest taken by these 2 clubs over the previous 3 days of action right here in the Kingdome. First of all, for the Islanders in the quarterfinals, a much-hyped win over previously unbeaten Mount Vernon. Then last night they took care of surprising Seattle Prep. For O'Day in the quarterfinals, an 8-point win over Everett. And then last night, O'Day getting it done down the stretch to knock off Mariner. Joining us as our championship fun continues, former Indiana Hoosier and North Carolina State star, Mike Giomi. Gotta like this matchup, Mike. Let's talk in terms of offense for Mercer Island against a very talented O'Day defense.
Well, I'll tell you, versatility is the key right now. Mercer Island's been living off that versatility all year long, and they got 4 seniors who can do it all.
It is hard to pick one guy off of either of these teams to highlight, but we're going to do our best, and we're going to start with Mercer Island's Josh Fisher, an outstanding player, an outstanding tournament. He's done it all.
Well, I think Josh Fisher's had the best tournament so far this year, and he's their go-to guy.
And a young man who's going to go on and play collegiately Division I ball at Pepperdine, as are 3 of his teammates. Josh Fisher, very fun to watch. Also fun to watch for the Fighting Irish of O'Day, a man with a nickname that gives you a good indication of how he plays the game of basketball. That's Gene Woodard.
Well, you're absolutely true. Gene Woodard, they call him the Beast, and he is a great player, inside and out. He's going to be the force tonight.
Leading his team in scoring and leading his team in rebounding in this state tournament. But again, balance the key for both of these teams. You never know who's going to step up and be the star, and who might it be tonight. We will get some answers to that question when we return to the Kingdome. For O'Day against Mercer Island, the starting lineups and the opening tip-off on Fox Sports Northwest. Fox Sports Northwest presents the WIAA Dairy Farmers of Washington Class 3A Boys Basketball Championship, brought to you by Car Toys, a better way to go for cars, stereos, car alarms, radar pagers, and cell phones. By the Money Tree, your cash solution. And by Gifford Industries, the gym floor people, dedicated to quality, committed to value. Mercer Island taking on O'Day inside the Kingdome, the last high school championship game to be played in this facility, and it's for the 3A crown. Starting lineups this evening for these excellent basketball teams. Lots of talent on the floor, and when you talk about Mercer Island, you have 4 players that are heading off to Division I basketball. Our Gifford Industries starting lineup: Elliot Prosse Freeman will go to Harvard, Josh Fisher to Pepperdine, Matt Logie to Lehigh, and Tyler Bessiker to Stanford. Starters for O'Day: Lincoln, Drake, Burleson, Bond, and Gene Woodard. Head coach of the Islanders of Mercer Island, Ed Peppel, winningest coach in state history, 761 career wins, 689 at Mercer Island. State championships in 1985, 91, and 97. One of the elite coaches in the state, Phil Lumpkin, one of the best winning percentages in Washington, guided his club to state championships in 1993 and 97. Former NBA player, in fact, a teammate of his, is the current coach of the Supersonics, Paul Westphal. They played together with the Phoenix Suns. John Horton will be roaming the sideline for our boys 3A championship, and he has a report for us. John?
Another great battle of the point guards in this one, Tom. You got Nate Burleson of O'Day against Elliot Prosse Freeman of Mercer Island. Throughout the tournament, Elliot Prosse Freeman has been the floor leader. He is able to use all the weapons available to him, including Josh Fisher cutting to the inside, or even the big man Tyler Bessiker to the outside. For O'Day, Nate Burleson likes to cut and slash. The balance of this O'Day team is the key to their success, and Burleson makes the most of it. Tom?
Thank you, John. Nate Burleson, an all-Metro first-teamer. Surprisingly, only 3.7 assists per game in the tournament, but he is the guy that runs the show for O'Day. As you look at his teammate with the warm-up still on, Eddie Lincoln, a 6'5 junior, the other all-Metro performer for the Fighting Irish of O'Day, who last night defeated Mariner 58-51 in the semifinals. Mercer Island's Final Four win came against Seattle Prep 56-41, as the lineups are being introduced to the fans here at the Kingdome, and this will be the final high school game played in this facility. Well, Mike, here we go. Talent on both sides. We talked about it. 2 all-league performers for O'Day, 4 all-Kinko Conference performers for Mercer Island. Seniors everywhere. This is what it's all about, state championship.
This is what it's all about. It's going to be a matchup of the guards. I think whoever controls the tempo in the first 2 or 3 minutes is going to win this ball game.
We talked about earlier the defense pressure that can be applied by the O'Day Fighting Irish. What they want to do is take Mercer Island as much as they can out of that well-oiled offense. It's going to be interesting to see if they can do that early in the contest.
Mercer Island's one of those teams that they're averaging over 21 points. They're beating their opponents by 21 points. O'Day is only beating opponents by 6 points. I think if it's a close game, it goes to O'Day because Mercer Island's not accustomed to such pressure.
All right, other 3A tournament games were played today with some trophies up for grabs. Seattle Prep losing to Mariner 64-55, so Mariner goes home to Mukilteo with a 3rd place trophy. The 4th place trophy goes to Mount Vernon, a winner over last year's state champion Rainier Beach, and in the 5th place game, Bremerton with a 17-point win over the Olympia Bears, who were the runners-up to Rainier Beach in last year's title contest. Nate Burleson has a brother, Kevin, freshman on the Minnesota Golden Gopher team, who did not have a very positive experience when he returned home this week for the NCAA West Regionals. Nate hopes to have a more successful outing this evening against the Islanders. Hey, these guys are at different schools, but they know each other well. They meet in summer leagues. They meet in fall leagues. No secrets here as we get ready for Mercer Island against O'Day. Your referee, Jeff Shireman, your umpire, John Rickard. We are ready to go. Bessiker against Woodard, and Mercer Island wins the opening toss. Bessiker wide open inside. The pass from Elliott. Prasse Freeman.
Well, there's that
Mercer
Bessiker
Island's on the
starting
board.
off early right away.
Tremendous play by Bessiker. He's involved in the opening tip and somehow beats the O'Day defense down to the basket. Woodard. Mercer Island starts off man-to-man in this contest. Andrew Bond. Eddie Lincoln rejected by Prasse Freeman, gets the ball back. Rigel Drake with a jumper, drains it. Rigel Drake, 6'2", senior, 10 points in last night's win over Mariner. Elliott Prasse Freeman will play collegiately at Harvard, an outstanding student. Working on Drake, going baseline, kicks it out. Matt Logie, three-point specialist, too long. Burleson with the rebound for the Fighting Irish. Nate with the push. Eddie Lincoln goes off glass.
That's the key right there. They've got to push Mercer Island because Mercer Island tries to pick up half court. You guys go right at them every single time.
Drake with a defensive matchup on Prasse Freeman. Taj Matthews, sort of the unsung guy in the starting five, just a sophomore. Bessiker baseline, money! Tyler Bessiker.
Bessiker's feeling tonight. I think he's going to have a good game.
All Kinko Conference MVP with Mercer Island's first 4 points. Minute and a half into this boys 3A championship game. Bessiker now with a defense on Eddie Lincoln. Inside pass to Woodard. Good help defense. Josh Fisher, hoop and hack, no. They say before the shot, it'll be out of bounds.
Well, you know, Mercer, I'll tell you, usually what they do right there is they double team on that post play. And, but he got bailed out right there. But Mercer Island's going to get there a little bit quicker.
Nice feet on the inside.
Out of bounds, O'Day.
First foul in the ball game. Eddie Lincoln to inbound. Logie on Drake. Matthews with the defense on Burleson. Penetration, can't finish. Rebound, Bessiker. Outlet to Prasse Freeman. Cross court, Logie open. Takes the three, drives, pulls up in trouble. Woodard can't quite get the steal. Fisher in and out. Rebound, Lincoln. Throws a long pass intended for Woodard. Gene not expecting that one to come his direction. Nate Burleson, 6'2", senior, 8 points, 6 assists. And last night's Final Four win against Mariner.
You know, last night they were running a two-guard set. Now they're back to the two-guard now, but it worked for them well last night.
Taj Matthews. Mercer Island, a very patient team on offense. Logie goes up, ball knocked away by Eddie Lincoln. Islanders will maintain possession. First substitution of the ball game will be made by Phil Lumpkin. He brings in 6'7", Paul Roth. Big man with a nice touch. And what a boost it would be for O'Day tonight if they can get Roth involved inside and make him a force.
You know, Roth's a little bit more effective than Bond, and he actually averages a couple more points coming off the bench.
Roth offensively matched up with Tyler Bessiker. Mercer Island, a team that likes to get the three-point shot off. Bessiker showing you why. Tyler Bessiker, 7. O'Day, 4. Mikey did a nice job that time, getting himself squared up to the hoop. Nice form.
Well, you know, Mercer Island blows around ball so well, and they just wait for their opportunity.
Woodard, miss on the tip. 7-6.
That's my Woodard. You got to put Woodard. You got to put a body on him, and he's going to have he's scoring all night.
As advertised, boy, we're off to a nice start in this ball game. 7-6 Mercer Island. Gail Drake with the defense on Prasse Freeman. Logie, he'll play at Lehigh next year. Bessiker spotting up again. Short, follow tip, good, hoop and hack. Crossay Freeman will go to the line to attempt to complete the three-point play.
You know, every time a shot goes up, one of the Mercer Island players just go to the rebound every single time. Coach Pepple's trained all those players. Every time that shot's up, you make it happen.
Foul on Rigel Drake. His first. Bond quickly back into the ball game as Roth heads to the bench. Justin McCullum, number 21, checking in for Mercer Island as Matthews heads to the Mercer Island bench. Elliot Crossay Freeman in the tournament shooting 60%. From the free throw line, he'll boost that percentage just a bit, and the Islanders lead is at 4.
Well, you know, I don't think Coach Pepple's happy about the rebounding of Mercer Island on defense, and I think that's why they went to a bigger lineup.
O'Day very much like Mercer Island on the offensive end, to the extent, Mike, that they will be very patient. And they are very functional on the offensive end. They know what they want to do.
Well, you know,
bad shots are not accepted by Phil Lumpkin. And neither are bad passes right there. The turnover in transition. Mercer Island, nice pass to McCullum. Nice spin move, can't finish. He chases down his own miss. Logie, wide open look for the three. In and out, rebound Lincoln. Eddie Lincoln doing a nice job on the boards early for O'Day. Burleson getting a pick from Drake.
You know, Mercer Island switching up from man-to-man and defense. Each step down, they're changing.
Burleson posting up Crossay Freeman. Now comes out beyond the three-point line. You might see those guys try to post each other throughout the ballgame. Woodard inside, flashes and scores. Rigel Drake with a nice look.
You cannot let him cut the basket like that. Somebody's got to put a body on him, keep him out of there.
4 points for Gene Woodard. 10-8 Mercer Island lead. Justin McCullum's father, Sam, former Seattle Seahawks wide receiver. Fisher penetrates. Foul before the shot. Mike, Josh Fisher, a guy with his penetration who can create a lot of problems for the defense. The quickest of the Islanders. They like to put him out on the point and let him go to work. He did that time, and it'll pay off with a foul against O'Day. We have a timeout, 2:41 left as you look at Gene Woodard and Tyler Bessiker. Mercer Island and O'Day, 3A Station prime time. Take a look at the NBA with all the highlights of the day's games. Get the lowdown on March Madness as well as your hometown teams. We are there at Fox Sports News prime time tonight at 11 on Fox Sports Northwest. Let's go to John Horton.
Talk about the rivalry between these two teams. Last year's quarterfinals, one of the biggest games. These two teams have been playing against each other since they were in the 8th grade. Mercer Island is the East Side All-Stars, O'Day as the CYA All-Stars. They've played about 15 times, and they've split just about 500.
All right, John, thank you. McCullum, errant pass stolen by Eddie Lincoln. Here comes Burleson for O'Day. Crossover, goes to the hoop. He'll head to the line as he draws the foul. Nice penetration, Mike, by a guy who knows how to do it, Nate Burleson.
You know, when he got that ball at half court, he was going to the hole. He knew it right away.
Number 5.
It's a young man. He's the floor leader, and his head coach, Phil Lumpkin, describes himself as a disciplinarian. He says, when my kids leave school, they may not like me, but I think they respect me. And Burleson's a guy who hears a lot from his coach during the course of the game simply by virtue of his position as you look at Phil Lumpkin.
Well, you're absolutely right. That sounds kind of like Bobby Knight when he played for him for 4 years.
Time permitting, maybe we'll get a story or two. Burleson hits the first free throw. Second. Strong. Woodard offensive board. Put back no good. Rebound by Fisher, who skies. Great hops for Fisher. Logie goes baseline on Lincoln. Off glass. Pretty play. Matt Logie, the grandson of head coach Ed Peppel. Woodard baseline inside. Burleson left hand. Powerful move by the point guard Burleson.
Well, that's not something you expect. A point guard posting up and shooting a little left-handed hook.
Pretty play. Freeman losing the ball. He'll be called for the travel. Gil Drake saying, hey, he pushed off before he traveled.
But, you know, know, I think that's the importance of this game. Look, the point guard tries to go down and score on the left-hand side, and then all of a sudden, look at Percy Freeman. Look at what he's trying to do, going to the hole.
Yeah, see what Drake was talking about, the little push-off. Traveling was the call. O'Day ball. Turnovers, even at 2. Mercer Island with a 1-point lead. Roth back in the ball game as Bond hits the bench. That's Paul Roth losing control. Nice defense by the Islanders. Justin McCullum. Near travel. Prasé Freeman. Good three-point shooter, as is Bessiker. You've seen evidence of that already. Bessiker trying to move on the bigger Roth. Blocked by Roth, and the offensive foul called on Bessiker. Nice position by Gene the Machine Woodard drawing the offensive foul.
Well, it was a good position, but I'll tell you, that's also what Bessiker has to do to take it against Roth, because he's a lot quicker than him.
Terrific play by Woodard. Roth hobbles off. Let's see if we can catch the injury spot for him. Looked like right there may have come down on someone's foot, so he goes to the bench, and Bond returns.
Well, Bond's a better defensive player, but he's not a better player, the offensive player than Roth, and that's what is going to hurt O'Day just a little bit.
Roth, really good hands for a big guy. Basically, if you throw it to him, you put it in his area, he'll come up with the basketball. Eddie Lincoln, backdoor wide open. Burleson goes up strong and gets it. But I tell you, he's much more offensively involved in terms of scoring, Mike, this evening than he was last night in the game with Mariner. I think that's a good sign for O'Day.
Well, he's putting it on his shoulders. He wants to make things happen.
Irish with a 1-point lead. McCullum splits the defenders, can't finish. Lincoln with the board, his third. Woodard, fast break Irish to Drake. Nice hang time in the air. Rigel Drake. And it's O'Day by 3. And Logie's forced to call a timeout. Pepple says make it a 20 with 22 seconds left in the opening quarter. Beautiful fast break by the Fighting Irish. Pepple barking out instructions. Here comes Rigel Drake, Mike. Take a look at the break.
This is just great execution basketball. Fast break, Woodard drops it off, and boom, it's 2 points.
A nice hang as he let Prasé Freeman go by, and then here's Nate Burleson doing some damage.
Well, a little backdoor cut, and Burleson, just like I said, he's not scoring from the outside, he's scoring from the inside. It's not what you expect from a point guard.
Well, if they start to worry about your abilities to drive, they sag off, and maybe that outside shot becomes a little more available. We shall see. Hey, and Burleson, though, not hung up on putting the ball in the hoop. If the opportunity's there, he will take it.
Well, you know, O'Day's only shot 11 three-pointers in this tournament compared to, I think it is 40 again for Mercer Island.
Mercer Island has shot 47. Bessiker. Clock down to 6 seconds. Prasé Freeman. Taj Matthews. Letting loose high off the backboard over the shot clock, and Ed Pepple says, hey guys, we got 4 all-conference people on the court. I don't want Taj Matthews put in a situation which he was where he had to take that shot. Good first quarter of action. Nate Burleson helping the O'Day Irish to a 3-point lead over Mercer Island, 15-12 in the boys 3A championship game. The Kingdom, the O'Day Crazies. I don't think that's an exaggeration. Cheering on the Fighting Irish. Plenty of support, believe me, from Mercer Island as well as we get ready to start the second quarter. The Irish with the 3-point lead. Tom Glasgow, Mike Giommi, and John Horton.
Well, they brought in Proctor, and Proctor's a pretty good shooter, so we'll see what he's going to do.
Kevin Proctor, a 6'2 senior, number 23 for the Irish. Eddie Lincoln going for a rare 3-point attempt by the Irish. No good. Prasé Freeman with the board. 3-on-2 break for the Islanders. Bessiker goes in strong. Can't get it to go. Matthews. Proctor. Jump ball. And I can't tell you which way the possession arrow is pointing because apparently it's not functioning, but
no ball on the
Woody Woodruff, the alternate official, says it's
bounds.
Mercer Island basketball. I think it got worn out during that girls' game. There were so many jump balls in that Bainbridge win over Meadowdale. Logie.
I tell you, they were scrapping. I've never seen girls work that hard on a court like that.
Really a good game. Foul, first quarter stats. We bring to you Field goal shooting, Mercer Island 5 of 12. Very impressive. O'Day 7 of 11. And rebounding's 2-1 margin in favor of the Irish.
Well, when you shoot 1 to 5 from Mercer Island, that's an opportunity for rebounds for O'Day.
Woodard with that last foul. First, Josh Fisher. Nice dish inside to Bessiker. Tremendous vision by Josh Fisher, who leads the Islanders in assists in this tournament. 6.6 per contest. Mercer Island within 1. Burleson, get the pick from Woodard. Another pick from Proctor, loses the ball. Bessiker throwing long for Matthews. Kevin Proctor comes up with it. Burleson. Nate penetrates, dishes back, Lincoln travels.
Out of bounds.
Lincoln 6'5" junior. He'll be back for another season under Phil Lumpkin. There you see Phil, he is a guy that brings the same intensity to practice that he brings to a game. He doesn't want a practice day to seem like it's easier than a game day.
Well, you're absolutely right. I mean, these guys, the way they practice, every single play, even their stall game, they work on every single day. So they're totally prepared.
Last foul on Proctor, his first. 14 fouls for O'Day, 3 team fouls for Mercer Island.
You know, we've talked about this before. Mercer Island's now bringing in Edwards, and Edwards is their 6th man. They're really only 6 deep, and he just comes on and gives them quality minutes, and he can interchange for all 3 spots.
Help us out by
St. Freeman, Fisher. There was Edwards with that quick touch, number 32 for the Islanders. Maurice Murphy in for O'Day. Fisher! High off the glass, getting it to go. Islanders reclaim the lead. Bond in trouble, throws it away. St. Freeman lost the ball.
That's something you don't really see very often out of passing.
Maurice Murphy. Edwards nearly coming up with a steal. Proctor. Look, Andrew Bond. Throws it away. Substitution. Lincoln will get back into the game. Interesting setup on that O'Day bench. Phil Lumpkin doesn't necessarily make all the substitutions on that occasion. Greg Kalina, one of the assistants, when he saw that turnover, he went and grabbed the player to put him in.
Well, as a coach, you can only see how, so much is going on in the game, and I think that's coach's strategy.
So Bond out in favor of Lincoln. Bessiker. Logie for 3. Got it. Matt Logie. Came into this ball game hitting 8 of 19 and triples. O'Day wants a timeout, down 4, 19-15. Matt Logie cannot be left open beyond the arc. Otherwise, you might get too much of this if you're the Fighting Irish of O'Day. With an update on the injury to O'Day center Paul Roth. John?
The biggest man on the court at 6'7" does have a sprained ankle. He is expected to return. The treatment, however, is rather unique. They're using acupuncture and pressure points to make him feel better. I've never seen it on a high school sideline, but I've seen it tonight.
Alternative medicine.
Whatever works.
Absolutely, as long as he gets back out on the court. 5:15 left in the opening half. Maurice Murphy with the ball for O'Day. Murphy comes up short. St. Freeman with the rebound. Islanders on a 7-0 scoring run. Almost 10-0 as Bessiker missed the 3-point try.
You know, well, O'Day was really successful when they were penetrating, and then all of a sudden they just started quit penetrating. They just started passing around. I don't understand. They need to start slashing again.
Burleson trying to find some room. These clubs met in a district semifinal about 2 weeks ago. And for Gail Drake.
Do I know the game or what?
I guess you do. keep that up, we might have to throw you on the bench. But then who do I talk to? Drake with the bucket, and Rigel Drake with 6 points. O'Day within 2. I was saying these clubs met about 2 weeks ago in a district semifinal. Mercer Island winning by 4, 65-61. But O'Day had a double-digit lead in the second half. So very evenly matched teams. Fisher wide open, look for 3. Got it! Josh Fisher. What's nice about his game, Mike, is he's powerful enough, even at his size, and he has great hops. He can do a lot of damage in the paint, but he also has that nice touch to get it done from the perimeter.
Well, I can't figure out how you're going to guard him. You know, inside, outside, he's got the complete package. He's just, Pepperdine's going to love him. I think he's going to play the 2 at Pepperdine, though.
Stolen by Edwards. Islanders trying to build on the 5-point lead. Logie wide open for 3. Doesn't get the bounce. Bessiker inside. Tries to draw the foul. Can't. Loose ball. Logie can't get it. Woodard almost does. Prase Freeman finally stolen by Murphy. Great action. Nate Burleson will try to make it count for something. Ball kicked by Edwards. 3:16 left. Second quarter, Mercer Island 5-point lead over O'Day as Kevin Proctor returns. Murphy heads to the bench. Justin McCullum back in for Mercer Island. Logie will get a breather. And Pepple telling us that in basketball season, Matt Logie, his grandson, doesn't call him grandpa, it's coach, but out of season, it's grandpa. And Ed Pepple coached some sons, and it was basically the same thing. At the gym, it was coach, and at home, it was dad. Islanders come up with a steal. Fisher out on the point where he can really create for that Islander offense. Now working inside on Eddie Lincoln. Here comes the double team from Proctor. A lot of leather by Kevin Proctor, but he gets called for the foul. 15th foul on the Irish. Take a look. Proctor will come down on the double team, Mike.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It did look like a lot of leather to me, but, you know, as I said, Fisher could go all inside and out.
Fisher!
There we go.
Kind of a baby champ. Hey, got it down. 24-17. Those are those hops we were telling you about. Josh Fisher. 7 points. Burleson held by McCullum. Logie returning. You look at Dave Burleson. Dad Al was an outstanding football player. Not too long ago, quite a while ago, at the University of Washington. Foul on McCullum, his first. 15th foul against Mercer Island. Dangerous pass, but Lincoln brought it in. Mercer Island now going to a trapping defense, at least on the inbounds. Now back to more of a straight man-to-man. Lincoln pulls up over Bessiker. Nothing but cut for Eddie Lincoln.
And that was a hand in his face.
Eddie Lincoln with 4 points. Islander lead at 5. Logie, ball batted away by Rigel Drake. Drake and Prase Freeman go down. Jump ball, possession arrow pointing to O'Day.
Held ball, possession arrow to O'Day.
We have Prase Freeman. I was never in his neighborhood when it came to SATs, but I'm told 1600 is pretty good. Is that correct, Mike?
Yeah, I think 1600. I don't know if he can go much higher.
If I'd taken that test 3 times, just maybe I get that high.
Oh, come on, give yourself just a little more credit than that.
All right, 2 times. Miguel Drake. Fisher matched up with Lincoln. Proctor finding some room. I tell you what, took a little strength to get that ball in, partially blocked. It looked like McCullum had a hand on it as he went up.
That's what O'Day has to do. They just have to keep penetrating and getting to the basket because they're just not making any shots from the outside.
Islander lead at 3. Fisher turns. Great tournament for this kid.
There are very few teams who play your 3 men as your post player.
9 points. Josh Fisher. Proctor to Drake, pulls up over Bessiker. Oh, Rigel Drake, pretty shot over the taller Bessiker. McCullum going baseline, pushing off. Proctor with the off arm, no call. Bessiker inside goes up strong. He'll head to the line. Let's take a look at Rigel Drake. Drain him to chase. Release, rotation, got the arc, got it to go. Drake with 8 points. Came into this ball game averaging 4.7 in the tournament. Bessiker at the line, 80% shooter. Gets the first. He'll walk on at Stanford. He had a scholarship offer from Pennsylvania. He chose instead to walk on with the Cardinal, who went down hard.
Well, they made
the arena today against the Gonzaga Bulldogs.
They just may need him. I don't know.
Cinderella at the NCAA dance this year from Spokane. Bessiker second. Missing. Islander lead holds at 4. Inside a minute. First half, O'Day Mercer Island Boys 3A Championship from the Kingdom. Lincoln posting up Bessiker. Unlike girls basketball, of course, no shot clock in boys action. Burleson, pretty spin, can't finish with the left. Logie with the board. He took a shot in the nose the other night. He's got cotton up his left nostril. The Islanders will go for the last shot, and don't be surprised if it's Fisher who will work it from the point down the stretch. And here he goes. He's got Wooder on him, checks the clock.
They got 2 isolation plays, and every one's for Fisher. One's inside and one's from the top of the key, just like that.
Pull up. Not the form he was looking for. Burleson gets it off in time, but it'll come up short. Excellent first half of championship basketball from the Kingdom. Phil Lumpkins, O'Day Irish, taking on the Islanders of Mercer Island and trailing Ed Peppel's club by 4 points. John Horton will catch up with Phil Lumpkin momentarily to get his thoughts on this first half of basketball. Lots of nice end-to-end action. John with Coach Lumpkin. Go ahead, John.
The pace of this game very frantic in the early half. Yes, it has been. Both teams are competing very well and playing very hard. No emotion, business-like attitude in a very emotional game. That's the way it has to be. I think the calmer I am, the calmer my players will stay.
That's Phil Lumpkin. His team is still in contention right here.
As you know,
John, thanks a lot. Indeed, in contention for a 3rd state championship this decade, but that's what the Islanders are shooting for as well. Josh Fisher leading Mercer Island to the halftime lead. He is 7-23 in what will be the last basketball game played in the Kingdom. Tom Glasgow along with Mike Giomi. Mike, one of the things we talked about going into this game, really any game, turnovers are very important, but when you're in a championship atmosphere, they are magnified. And Nate Burleson and Elliot Prasse-Freeman not doing the type of jobs they would like to do taking care of the basketball.
Well, you're absolutely right. Prasse-Freeman has 4 turnovers and Burleson has 5. And you can just tell they're just a little bit nervous tonight.
Doesn't mean they're not contributing to their clubs, but they do want to do a better job handling the basketball, running the offense. Some of the highlights from the first half, Tyler Bessiker. Mikey does a great job spotting up and getting the ball off.
Well, you know, Bessiker, you can't leave him open, and I'll tell you, he's scoring from all over.
9 points, leading Mercer Island right behind Josh Fisher, Mr. Inside, Mr. Outside.
Well, he's my complete player. I think he's my most valuable player of the tournament right now.
O'Day, we talked about a club that can get offense from anybody on the court. You don't know who's going to be the step-up guy, and in the first half, it was Rigel Drake.
Well, Rigel Drake, you know, he hit that easy shot, but I'll tell you, he's also hit some clutch jumpers.
So we talked about Nate Burleson's 5 turnovers. Let's talk about something a little more positive. 5 first half points for Nate.
Well, here's a Nate Burleson that I didn't expect. A Nate Burleson who slashed into the basket. He's, you know, he's the guard, and he's posting up, shooting little left-hand hooks.
And as you talked about, penetration really important for the O'Day basketball team. regardless of who it is, if they can get into the interior of that Islander defense and either get the hoop or have that defense collapse and kick it up to a solid shooter spotting up, that may be their ticket to a state title.
Well, you know, it seems like O'Day is struggling to make the basket. It seems like they're happening a lot easier for Mercer Island. But you're right, they just got to keep slashing and they got to keep attacking because they just can't be content passing the ball around.
Number 14, Tyler Bessiker, Elliot Prasse, Freeman and company back out on the court, getting ready for the second half. It ought to be a good one. O'Day with a little work to do against the Islanders. O'Day will only take it if they are really happy with it. Bessiker, as you saw, leading Mercer Island with 10 points, and Rigel Drake leading the way for the Irish with 8. Mercer Island, maroon jerseys with the first possession, and it's Matt Logie. You know, he prefers to spot up, but he shows you some versatility right there.
Well, you know, that's the problem. A lot of times you play off him, and then he goes by you.
And Logie with 7 points. Woodard inside, draws the foul, reach in.
That's exactly what O'Day has to do. Is to drive right there. I'm sure Coach Lumpkin told him, you know, slash to the basket like that.
Gene Woodard with 4 first half points, averaging 12 in the 3 previous tournament games.
Tom, they started with a bigger lineup and they brought Roth in, so his ankle must be feeling really good, and that massage must have worked.
Acupuncture getting him back out. Fell on Josh Fisher, his second. Woodard gets number 1 down. Rebound by Josh Fisher. Elliot Prasse Freeman, Tyler Bessiker. The Islanders up 5 with the ball. Double team, and Fisher lost. A nice defense by Roth and Woodard as they put the squeeze on.
Well, you know, they know he's the go-to guy, so they're going to collapse on him every time he drives like that.
All right, we talked about Kevin Burleson with the 5 first half turnovers. See if he can get his ball control a bit more up to his standards in this half. Roth posting up. Bessiker can't get the entry pass. Drake misfiring on the 3. And then the nice hustle to bang it off Fisher.
Great heads-up play.
Rigel Drake, 6'2" senior. Had connected on 3 of 6 three-point shots, but that is not Phil Lumpkin's style of play. Again, if it's absolutely a wide open look, we'll take it. That's his feeling on it. Is Burleson, the turnover number 6. Fisher pulls up, drops it. I'll tell you what, Mike, should Mercer Island go on and win this game, and should Fisher continue at the level of play he's shown throughout the 4 days of the tournament, I don't see how anyone else could land the MVP award.
Well, if you're leading in assists, rebounds, and and points and steals, you've got to be the most valuable player.
Roth fouled by Bessiker. Paul Roth. Prasse Freeman with a pickup on that last play. And take a look, just nice form.
Nice form and confidence to pull up instead of taking the ball to the hoop.
The thing that's nice about his game, and it's really, I think it's evident, quite frankly, in a lot of players on both of these teams, is playing under control.
Well, and that's a credit to both coaches. Coach Pepper and Coach Lumpkin. That's a credit to them.
Roth missing both free throws. Fisher with the board. Mercer Island looking to extend its lead, and they'd like to take it over double digits. Bessiker misfiring, following his shot. It's like the coach tells you to do.
But that's how intense Bessiker is. He takes the shot and he's going for his own rebound. This game means a lot to these seniors.
Rigel Drake going for the 3. Had a nice line on it, just came up short. Taj Matthews, the sophomore point guard, with a rebound. I'll tell you what, You got your 4 senior buddies in the starting lineup who are graduating. Taj Matthews will be stepping up his game as a junior next season.
Well, you know, I talked to Ed Pepple, and he said that he's excited. He's excited about the young group of kids that he's got, and he's looking forward to coaching next year.
Now, the tendency of Mercer Island is to reload as opposed to rebuild, but this is going to be a very difficult group to replace.
The foul is on number 20, Paul Roth.
Blocking call on Paul Roth, first personal. First team foul. Matthews long on the 3. Bessiker with the offensive board goes up. Roth and Woodard both there. Bessiker will head to the line. And we'll see who gets tagged with the foul. It'll be Woodard.
Look here on the boards of Bessiker. He's just, as I say, you know, he took the other shot and went to the boards and he went again. He's making things happen in there.
Bessiker at the line. Bessiker shooting.
Bessiker hitting the first. 32-24. 8-point Islander lead. Roth with a rebound. Fisher ties him up momentarily, but Roth yanked it away, and Fisher goes right back after it. And is called, a foul called on Roth. So excellent effort by Josh Fisher. As Roth gets tagged. Roth just took a nap. He's lost awareness of where Josh Fisher was. He goes to the bench. Proctor comes in. Bessiker missing. Tip no good. Follow tip. I think they'll give that one to Fisher.
I think they will.
I need a replay to find out exactly who banged that one in. And Phil Lumpkin says, we got to talk it over. Down by 10. O'Day does not want this thing to get out of hand with 5:03 left in the third quarter. Mercer Island looking for its 3rd state championship this decade, leading O'Day. Island fans happy their club up 10 over O'Day. 5:03 left in the third quarter. We had a girls' championship game earlier, won by Bainbridge over Meadowdale, and coming up, yeah, there's more coming your way from the Dome in Tacoma. The boys' 4A championship, Walla Walla taking on Ferris out of Spokane. Both clubs 25-3. I think I'll sit back and watch that one. Todd Pickett, Dave Harshman with the call from the Tacoma Dome. Josh Fisher, 13 points. He did get credit for that last tip-in that he and Tyler Bessiker were involved in. Josh Fisher has been outstanding. My critical point of the ball game for O'Day. They want to get this thing back under double digits as quickly as they can. And
there it is.
Raquel Drake delivers.
He just comes in as instant energy.
Drake with 10 points. First O'Day player to get to double figures. Prase Freeman with Drake all over him. Wide open look for Edwards. Misfires. Bessiker over the back of Woodard.
You know, I don't think that's a shot that Coach Pepper wants to make right now. He wants to control the tempo. He wants to slow it down just a little bit more.
Jason Edwards will be back. 6'1" junior. Mercer Island, a club that's
team foul number 3 out of bounds.
Basically 7 players deep. O'Day can go about 8 deep, so a bit of an edge. Not a great one, but a bit of an edge there. Eddie Lincoln pulls up. Short. Prase Freeman. Fisher to Logie. Fisher in trouble baseline. Throws out Freeman. Prase Freeman trying to draw the foul and does. Strong young man. He just wanted to get enough room where he could start to go up and try to draw that call, and he got it.
Well, once again, you know, Prase right here. These players just know every time the ball goes up or what Fisher has in his hands, he's going to go to the hole. What's the best thing to do? Missed shot, grab the rebound.
Foul on Raquel Drake, 2nd. 4th team foul on O'Day. Mercer Island with 3 team fouls. Elliot Prase Freeman, a young man in last year's semifinals against Olympia, who missed some crucial free throws. in the closing minute and opened the door for Olympia's Mark Bigelow to make an end-to-end drive for the winning bucket for the Olympia Bears. He took it very, very hard. Ed Peppel said he's not even sure he's still over it. It hit him.
Well, I'll tell you, if this
very
game,
hard.
If this game becomes close and I'm O'Day, I'm fouling. You know, I'm fouling across the field.
Oh, and they know that. I mean, you know, these two programs, well, they don't play each other a lot, and Phil Lumpkin downplays the rivalry element because of that. They are the two elite programs in the area, Seattle area. And boy, Josh Fisher, that's that total package we're talking about. Great court vision. He showed it earlier with an interior pass in the first half, and there he goes a little bit longer to find the hoop. Edwards with the bucket. Foul inside against Prase Freeman. Islander lead up to 10. Kevin Proctor will head to the line. Let's take a look at the pass by Josh Fisher.
This is just great court vision. He sees the player and he sees the back door and capitalize on it.
Lincoln got caught napping a bit on defense that time. Proctor with his third point. Kevin to try to make it an 8-point Irish lead. Cuts it down by one more. 3:25 left in the third quarter. Proctor with the defense.
Let me ask you something. When's the last time you saw a team that had, well, Prase Freeman's bringing the ball up now, but, you know, Fisher's been playing the point, the 4, the 5. Just a versatile team.
Yeah. Oh, beautiful play. That's the play of the game. Prase Freeman going to Jason Edwards. Jason Edwards finding some room on some backdoor cuts.
Well, I'll tell you, in backdoor cut, that's something that would be important. I'll tell you, if Mercer Island State gets ahead, they're going to have lots of backdoor cuts because O'Day's going to have to force the issue on defense.
Proctor short on the triple try. Besker with the board, Woodard with the defense. Two men on Fisher. Wheels, fades, off balance, nearly got it to go. Prase Freeman kept it alive. Besker inside, gets it down. I tell you, offensive board work paying off for the Islanders. Tyler Besker, a force inside. Lead up to 12. Proctor inside. Fouled either by Logie or Edwards. Tyler Besker, Mike, on the inside. Prase Freeman doing a nice job just keeping it alive.
Well, Besker's just playing with a hard intensity, and he just made the basket.
Team foul number 5 at the line, number 23, Kevin Proctor.
Kevin Proctor back at the line. Last foul on Logie. Second, 15 foul.
Into the O'Day lineup, number 14, Andrew Bond.
Bill Lumpkin
12, Maurice
played in one of the most famous basketball games ever. In fact, many consider it the greatest NBA game ever played. It was a double overtime affair. Phoenix Suns, Boston Celtics had that Garfield Hurd shot. I think it was 74, 75.
A little bit before my time, but yeah.
My time was a little closer, but it was still a ways ago.
Timeout, Mercer Island.
And Peppel will call timeout. 22nd timeout
So you can catch
with his
all
club
the
up
post-game
11.
statistics on the internet by checking out WIAA.com.
William Prase Freeman,
WIAA.com.
player under control, and a player who can see the court well, and Mike, here's proof of that.
Well, this is just another backdoor, you know, great situation of a backdoor cut, and they're going to be doing that all night. Once, you know, in the fourth quarter.
Now, that's a case right there where it's, you know, the fundamentals. I'm sure Coach Knight may have mentioned it to you once in a while. Keep your eye on the man and the ball. Don't lose contact. And on those two backdoor plays by Edwards, he had contact with the ball. Eddie Lincoln, that is, had contact with the ball, but he did not have vision of Edwards.
Well, you practice it and you know it, but, you know, you get in a tight game like this and you just want to do so much.
Approaching 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Quarter that's been very good to Mercer Island. Woodard nearly getting the steal. Edwards, wide open. Bessiker for 3. Short. And foul will go against O'Day's Proctor.
The foul is on number 23, Kevin Proctor. His 4th personal
Miguel Drake getting ready to head back in. Proctor with his 4th foul.
5 out of bounds, Mercer Island.
He goes to Phil Lumpkin's bench.
Well, here comes O'Day. I think Coach Lumpkin says he needs a little instant offense right now.
Prase Freeman, nice dish. Bessiker stripped by Drake.
Out of bounds, Mercer Island.
Nice D by Drake. Get some moisture wiped off the ball. Jason Edwards getting some minutes here in the third quarter for Mercer Island. He's keeping Taj Matthews over there on the bench. Logie to Prase Freeman. Edwards in the corner. Ooh, it was tempting, Mike, but he wouldn't release the trigger.
Yeah, but that's not his job. His job right now is to rotate and move the ball around. I think they're going to go last shot, and I have a feeling you're going to see Fisher be the focal point of this last shot.
Well, they may be in a mode. I'll look for some backdoor opportunities. If it's there, they'll take it. If not, goes Fisher, held by Burleson. Ed Tipple.
The foul is on number 11.
Some quick words with
his first personal foul.
Josh Fisher.
Team foul
on Burleson, his first 6th team foul. So Mercer Island on the cusp of getting some bonus action at the line. O'Day comes out and plays aggressive man-to-man, and they're going to some trapping defense. Want Mercer Island to waste that clock. And Logie, the runner, no good. Bessiker again on the offensive boards, drawing another foul.
Every time a ball is going to the ball goes to the rim, Bessiker's right there for the rebound.
The foul is on number 5, Drake.
Basically, what created that was the penetration by Logie. Woodard comes over to help, and then that opens up the room for Bessiker on the inside to get the board.
Number 4, Eddie Lincoln.
Andrew Bond.
Bessiker at the line. Bessiker shooting 1 and
the O'Day bench.
1 plus the bonus.
Bessiker short on the front end of the 1-and-1. Maurice Murphy chases down the ball that he had pounded. Tries to get out of the double team.
Out of bounds, O'Day.
Irish basketball. 101. To get a close-up look at official John Rickard.
Number 21, Justin
McCullum.
McCullum for Bessiker.
Placing Tyler Bessiker. Murphy guarded by Fisher. Prase Freeman with a near steal. .23 points at half for O'Day. They've put just 6 on the board in this third quarter. Murphy finds a little room, goes off glass. Pretty play by Maurice Murphy, a 6'1" junior, averaging 6 points in the 3 previous tournament games.
Mercer Island's going to run it out now.
25 seconds left in the quarter. Again, we'll see if they get it down to the point. We're at about 12 seconds. They hand the ball to Josh Fisher and let him create. 16 seconds, and here comes Fisher to get the basketball.
You know, it's not only just what Josh does is create and make the basket, but it's what happens when everyone else collapses, and then he dishes it out.
Burleson with the foul.
The foul is on number 11, Nate Burleson.
Kevin didn't like the way the elbows were up near his face. Second foul on Burleson.
Josh Fisher at the line. Fisher shooting 1-and-1.
Very talented athletic family, and Burleson and Fisher's not sending any shots back, but Burleson has some words for Josh Fisher at the line.
Oh, there's still another quarter left, and this game's not over.
Free throw good by
Into the lineup for Mercer Island, number 10,
Josh Fisher.
Matthews for Logie.
14 points unofficially for the Pepperdine-bound senior. Mercer Island lead up to 11. 10 seconds left in the quarter. Burleson needs to push it up. Goes to Murphy. Maurice fires. Edwards with the rebound as the third quarter comes to an end. Mercer Island in control, playing under control, and 8 minutes away from what would be the school's 4th boys basketball championship. 4th quarter coming up on Fox Sports Northwest. In the Kingdome in Seattle side of the boys 3A championship game, O'Day taking on Mercer Island, and the Irish trailing the Islanders 42-31. And during that break between quarters, Phil Lumpkin giving his young players some words of encouragement.
Well, I'll tell you,
he goes in on these final 8 minutes.
He's got to find a combination of players that's going to score right now. 8 minutes is a long time, but you got to get something going now.
Please don't force people forward as you get
I'm not so good at reading lips. Something about one shot, or we need more than one shot. Maybe he's trying to tell his guys we really got to start hitting the offensive boards. Or maybe it was only allowing Mercer Island one shot at their end.
I think it's only allowing Mercer Island one shot, and you're absolutely right. Every time they shoot, they've got to catch the board.
O'Day with the first possession of the quarter, down 11. Foul away from the ball, double foul.
The foul is on number 3, Elliott.
No, I guess it wasn't.
His second personal foul.
I thought I'd seen the sign for double foul. It wasn't. That was on a hold on Elliott Freeman. Second foul on Freeman. Wild shot by Woodard. Maurice Murphy goes inside contact. No call.
Great block by Vesico, too.
Jason Edwards picks up the ball. Backdoor Jason Edwards again, third time this half, Mike, and this time the pass comes from Logie. The obvious, I mean, this is coaching because Ed Peppel saw something that he could exploit. We'd like to welcome all of you that have been watching the Utah Jazz take on the Vancouver Grizzlies. Tom Glasgow along with Mike Giomi from the Kingdome in Seattle for the boys 3A state championship game. 6:50 left in the 4th quarter, and it's Mercer Island with a 13-point lead over the Fighting Irish of O'Day, and a foul against the Islanders.
The foul is on number 32, Jason Edwards, his first personal foul.
Josh Fisher leading the way for the Islanders so far. 13 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Rigel Drake doing everything he can to keep O'Day in it for the team high 10 points. And there's that offensive rebounding, Mike. 13 offensive rebounds for Mercer Island to just 4 for O'Day.
And I got one word for you, Vesico. He's been on the board.
So failing to capitalize on the 1-and-1. The Islanders with the ball up 13, and I tell you, it's getting to be crunch time for O'Day.
Well, you know, right now, if you watch, almost every player on Mercer Island's going to be playing free throw line extended and above. And what that does is it opens up the door, opens opportunity for back doors constantly.
Steal by Maurice Murphy. He'll go in, lay it up, and can't finish. Vesico with the rebound.
I think he got a little fingers on that ball. That's why it didn't go in.
Give Edwards some credit, getting back and applying some pressure on the shot after turning it over. And Woodard may be gone. Flagrant foul at the very least on Woodard. All right, let's watch the previous play in transition. Maurice Murphy coming up with the steal on Jason Edwards.
Well, he picks his pocket clean here, but I'm not sure. I want to see if he get a little, a little ball.
Maybe got a piece of it, just a piece. Freeman to the line to shoot 2. The Islanders will maintain possession. on the flagrant foul call.
That's just a frustration.
Against Woodard.
That's
Absolutely.
just a frustration call. Gene Woodward, you know, he's a senior, and his team's down by 13 and 14 now, and it's just it's getting to him.
Third personal. So just 8 points since halftime for O'Day. They have gone stone cold in this second half. And again, really a reversal from the first meeting between these teams in district play, when it was Mercer Island, which had to come from behind a double-digit deficit in the second half of that game. The 65-61 contest won by the Islanders. Another foul. This one against Burleson.
Number 11, Nate Burleson. Burleson's third personal foul, team foul number 10.
Nate's brother Kevin in town earlier this week with the Golden Gophers of Minnesota, who certainly did not enjoy their time in Seattle. They had the off-the-court situation regarding the academic fraud, a major distraction, and then lost to Gonzaga, which proved that win was not a fluke with their victory today over the second seed in the NCAA West Regional, the Stanford Cardinal. Fisher, first free throw good. He looks like a lock for the MVP award if Mercer Island holds on and gets the victory. Now up 15 points. They love their defense. They believe that's the key to everything they do, and they have really clamped down in this second half. Fisher, 17 points unofficially. John Burleson, entry pass, loose ball. Woodard down, Edwards down. Possession arrow points to Mercer Island.
Possession arrow to Mercer Island.
All right, what can you do if you're O'Day, Mike? I mean, here you are, you're down 16 points, 5:22 left. You're not a three-point shooting team. You've only taken 11 three-pointers coming into this game and only a few throughout this contest. It's a tough chore.
The only thing they can do is what they're doing right now is they're fouling each time, because Mercer Island's just going to run the clock down.
Lincoln missing on a three, getting the ball back and getting the lay-in. Eddie Lincoln with 6.
I don't know if you saw Pepper, but boy, he sure was mad on that pass. He was livid. He's about ready to pull somebody out right now.
Not Ed. Oh, a little fired up as you see him. Got some intensity. 66 years of age. Foul on Rigel Drake against Crosse Freeman. By the way, that burgundy sport coat may actually have been around longer than Ed. It's seen a lot of game action. But when we were talking to Coach Peppa last night, I said, how much longer do you want to coach? He goes, I've always said I'm going to coach as long as I enjoy it, and I still enjoy it. Well, now, with the 4 seniors graduating, I don't know if he'll enjoy next year as much as he apparently is going to enjoy this season, but you know, they've got a program out on the island called the Little Dribblers. The kids at a very young age learn the Mercer Island offense and kind of sits back and waits for the talent to show up at the high school.
There's one reason right there. Taj Matthews is why he's so excited, because Taj Matthews, he says it's going to be a great point guard for him, and he's got 2 more years.
Justin McCollum will be back. He's just a sophomore. Crosse Freeman free throws. Extending the lead. Now 16. 49-33, Mercer Island. Bessiker with a steal, fouled by Woodard. And I think O'Day's hit the wall.
I think it's just going to become a game of fouling every time and going to the free throw line for Mercer Island.
4 fouls on Gene Woodard.
Personal foul.
And you can see the frustration on the face of Phil Lumpkin. He enjoys the O'Day situation. You know, one of the issues in high school athletics is, you know, do you have good parents behind your program? And when I use the word good, it's obviously the coach's perspective on good parents. And Phil says, I got a great situation. My parents support what I do. I have very few incidents of any friction, so I'm happy. So he'll probably be at O'Day for many years to come unless what he considers a much better opportunity comes along.
And although he didn't win tonight, he's going to win more championships. There's no question.
17-point Islander lead, and they will work a little clock. Edwards with Lincoln all over him. Passe Freeman is
another back door.
Oh, there's a pretty play. But the charge on Bessiker. But you like the way they set that up. Bessiker flashing. Passe Freeman saw him. Good defensive position that time by the Irish. Fourth foul on Bessiker.
Team foul number 8. Player control out of bounds to O'Day.
And Tyler Bessiker checks out. We may not see him back again. Just McCollum comes out onto the court with this game in hand. The Islanders up by 17. It's always fun to see if games turn out the way most anticipate they will. In our earlier girls championship game, many thought Meadowdale had a good chance of pulling away from Bainbridge. Did not happen. Tight game. Bainbridge pulls off the upset. This game was expected to be tight in the fourth quarter. Hasn't been. 10 points this half for O'Day, and that's why they're looking at a 17-point deficit. Ned Pepples looking at his 4th state championship.
Well, and I think you also, if you look at time of possession, Mercer Island in the third quarter possessed the ball approximately 60 or 70% of the time. And even in the fourth quarter, time of possession has been on the hands of Mercer Island. And O'Day has been forced to foul just so they get the ball back.
Last foul on McCullum, sending Woodard to the line. Missing the front end of the 1-and-1. Logie to Fisher. Backdoor wide open, Matt Logie. Might as well hand him the MVP trophy right now. Josh Fisher. Again, showing that tremendous court vision as he finds his senior teammate. These 4 seniors in the Mercer Island starting lineup at age 11 or 10. They went down to Texas and won the national 11 and under title. One of their teammates has a 3-pointer is up and good by Maurice Murphy. One of their teammates, Teo Johnson, who played in last night's semifinals for Mariner, an outstanding athlete, maybe a better football player than he is a basketball player, and that's saying a lot. But they teamed up along with Curtis Borchardt as the Islanders turn it over. Curtis Borchardt, who's on his way to Stanford from Eastlake High School in Redmond, Washington.
You know, I'd hate to see this Mercer Island team with Teo Johnson also. They'd be unstoppable.
So after some sloppy play on both ends, Matt Logie works the ball over to Josh Fisher. Backdoor wide open. Edwards loses control. Double team trying to clear some room. Misses. Followed by Passe Freeman. No good. Edwards keeping it alive. And that effort that has been there from the opening tip-off on the offensive boards for Mercer Island. They are not backing off even with the game in hand. Up 16 with 2:26 left to play. Josh Fisher, the beautiful backdoor pass to Matt Logie. One of the reasons why Mercer Island's on its way to a state title.
The Kingdom, Elliot Passe Freeman trying to lay it back up and in, falling a little bit short. 2:20 to play. Islanders advantage at 16.
Burleson back around to Drake. He's going to be stripped, but Proctor gets it back. Kick around Burleson, holding it at center court. Lob down. Proctor's going to get it. No look pass goes to Proctor. Now Woodard's got it. Lobs it through.
Passe Freeman a little bit off getting that. They're going to inbound it. A little bit of momentum lost there. The Islanders need to keep it going. 14-point advantage. 2 minutes to play. 2 minutes until the championship.
Passe Freeman takes it up under 2 minutes, as you said. 52-38 our score here from the Kingdom on Islander Sports Radio. And Elliott's going to lob it slowly to Edwards. Holds it over the head. Island bench. Everyone's standing right now. Elliott falls to the floor, holding his arm. He's going to get up. It's all over him. Sloppy plays from Mito Drake. They're kind of losing it right now as there's a foul off the ball, and it's going to be Bessiker who committed the offensive charge.
14-point Islander lead right now. O'Day trying to keep things intact. Passe Freeman having a little bit of a powwow with the officials right now. They have 1:43 to play until the big gold dome is theirs, until they can take the state championship home to Mercer Island. 14-point advantage, and looks like a flagrant foul will be called right now. And coming to the line, Kevin Proctor. He's going to be shooting 2, and O'Day's going to take it back.
Well, gentlemen, thanks a lot. What a great opportunity to be in high school and have a chance to call some play-by-play. And obviously, they are enjoying themselves this evening with the state title going to their team. Was indeed a flagrant foul called on Matt Logie. Kevin Proctor taking care of business at the line. O'Day will maintain possession, down by 12, 1:43 left. Burleson into front court. Miguel Drake, and you definitely got to look for threes. Not the O'Day strength, but you don't have any choice.
Well, when you're shooting, 1 for 11 in the three-pointers, then you've only taken 3 in the whole tournament.
Woodard takes the deuce on the inside. O'Day down 10. At some point, you're going to have to make decisions on who to foul. On the court for Mercer Island, Bessiker inside. And not the guy to foul. Strong free throw shooter at 80%. 5th foul on Kevin Proctor. His season is over. His career is over. The senior will head to the bench for the last time with O'Day. Games aren't easy to lose like this, Mike, but when you're a senior and you lose, and you know it's done, and you know you will not have another opportunity, that's when it really hurts.
Yeah, it really does. And they put all their effort in. They've done a great job, and it's been a great tournament for them.
Well, almost 2 down. Definitely 1 more to go. Stay tuned. We will be getting you down to Tacoma shortly for the boys 4A championship game. Walla Walla taking on Ferris. Both teams 25-3. Todd Pickett and Dave Harshman have all the action from the Tacoma Dome. Good week of action in Tacoma for the 4A boys and 4A girls. By the way, the 4A girls championship game will be carried on Fox Sports Northwest on a delayed basis Thursday night at 9 o'clock. That's Prairie taking on Lake Washington. Let's see if we can listen in on Ed Peppel's huddle.
Get around in front of him, make him go the line. Make him go the line. No, sir. Make him gotta go. Get on his left shoulder. Get on his left shoulder.
Ed Peppel looking for a 4th championship. He arrived at Mercer Island in 1967. I asked him last night, if you win the championship tomorrow, how would you compare this title team to your other 3 title teams? He said, basically, I love these guys as much as I love those other guys. This team, he felt, was not as deep as any of his other championship teams, which is a credit to those 4 seniors who have led the way.
Well, you're absolutely right.
1999.
These kids, I mean, they're averaging 30 minutes a game, all 4 of them, and they're tired. They've been beat up the whole entire tournament, and as you say, it's been he's not as deep, and that's something that really bothered him the whole year.
And out of 2 at the line for Bessiker. Islanders by 11 as we close in on the 1-minute mark on the final basketball game to ever be played in the King Dome. Inside shot up. No good. Inside Woodard.
Basketball number 32, Gene Woodard.
And a quick O'Day timeout. Gene Woodard has contributed as much as he can this evening. Woodard is 6'5" senior. Andrew Bond, 6'6" senior starter. He's gone. Burleson, 6'2" senior starter, gone. Drake, another starter, gone. So 4 seniors in the O'Day starting lineup who are graduating. Eddie Lincoln, the only returning starter. So there will be some reloading to be done as well at O'Day. And the 4 starters, of course, graduating from Mercer Island with Taj Matthews, the only returning starter in the lineup. Our WIAA Dairy Farmers of Washington player of the game. It's a no-brainer. It's got to be Josh Fisher.
Well, he's made us look good because he's just, as I said, when you're leading in assists, rebounds, points, and steals, he's just a shoo-in for the most valuable player of this tournament.
17 points, 7 rebounds, 6 for 9 from the floor. He came into this game in his 3 previous tournament games, averaging just over 16 points, second best on the team. Perfect at the line, 6 for 6, 6.6 assists, 6.6 rebounds. He likes the number 6. Getting it done.
Well, maybe at Pepperdine next year is going to have to change that number to number 6.
Food for thought for him. He's a single-digit guy. Where's number 4? Most important number for him and his teammates, though, 1. As they are less than 1 minute away from a state title. Foul in backcourt. Jason Edwards will head to the line. Eddie Lincoln, that lone returning starter for the O'Day Irish. Last foul committed by number 22, Jonathan Williams.
Including the media to remain off of the floor for the presentation of trophies. We want the presentation of trophies and pictures.
If you look at the O'Day bench,
any additional crowding, so please stay off of the floor until
school separated by just about 5 miles. That's you basically get from one campus to the other in about 10-15 minutes. Always good when these clubs get together. Not the type of game I think everyone was hoping for, one that would go down to the final minutes, as O'Day just unable to get anything going offensively in the second half against a stifling Mercer Island defense. Break off target, Bessaker with the rebound. 10-point Islander lead, 54-44. The hardest part now, Mike, for these Mercer Island players is to hold the celebration off for 37.5 seconds.
Well, and you know, it's funny because what they got to do is they just got to pass the ball around. Each one of them is dribbling around. I think Coach Beppel just wants to get this game over with, celebrate with his players in the locker room, and enjoy the weekend.
Did you ever see Bobby Knight celebrate a victory before the final horn, or even after the final horn?
Hey, there were even games when we won, and when we won and he didn't celebrate.
You know, I do not find that hard to believe.
Unfortunately for Coach Knight, he ran up against St. John's tonight, and St. John's was just too powerful.
Bessaker getting the second free throw down, 55-44. And the 4 seniors on the court, and I think this is the way Ed Teppel wants them to end their career, together as a unit in the 3A championship game. Krause Freeman with the block. Fisher into front court to Logie. Jason Edwards, the only non-senior out there, is fouled, and he'll go to the line.
His 3rd personal foul.
Ed Teppel previously winning state titles in 85, 91, 97. Folks at Mercer Island claimed that the 1981 title should have been theirs. It was a very famous, controversial finish against Shadle Park. Mark Rippon, who went on to NFL stardom with the Washington Redskins, hitting a bucket many believe was after the buzzer. But that was then, hard to believe, almost 20 years ago now. And here's Mercer Island back to claim another championship.
You talked about putting Jason Edwards in. I'll tell you one reason he's putting Jason Edwards in is to get this field tournament play, so that next year nothing's not new. He's been here before, and he'll do the exact same thing these seniors have done.
Drake missing, and really time to stop fouling. But another personal committed by the Irish. As their fans hold up one finger, players have already been doing that. Let's see if Ed's going to maybe make some substitutions and bring the seniors out one at a time.
I think you're right. Here they come.
Instead of leaving them out on the court to finish the game.
You know, and Tom, if you notice right now, Ed Teppel's getting ready to put these sophomores in, and he's giving them directions right now. There's only 10 seconds on the clock, but he wants to see them do some quality things out there.
John Oliver in. Tyler Bessaker's career ends. Will continue at the collegiate level with the Stanford Cardinal. Gavin Cree into the lineup. Logie out. Prasse Freeman out. Willie Hudson also into the ball game for the Islanders. Edwards has gone to the bench. So now the last order of business is to get Fisher to hit this free throw so they can get him subbed out of the ball game. Let's see if he can deliver. Trying to put some pressure on him. Gets it done, and here he comes to the bench. That'll be your tournament MVP, Josh Fisher. 60-44. Murphy drives up, misses the lay-in. Shot blocked, and that's it. The Islanders of Mercer Island win the final state championship at the 3A classification this century, defeating the Irish of O'Day 60-44. Post-game coverage coming up. The Islanders are the champions of 1999.
Looking for a
the Tacoma Dome, we bring you the WIAA